I took my agency to $1.38 million a month, and it took me 3 short years. I'm going to show you how I did it in today's day. This is a full-on masterclass. So if you are an agency owner, you better grab some popcorn and buckle up. If you're a coach, consultant, service provider, this is going to help you out a ton, answer some of the biggest questions in the space that is hindering you from growing and scaling to the next revenue target. So while I'm talking to you in this video, I'm going to be writing stuff down on this whiteboard below. So let's go down to the whiteboard now and let's get right into it. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, because this video right here, I could probably charge 5 figures or more for, and you're getting it on YouTube for free. So with that being said, let's get into it. So my $1.38 million a month agency. Here are all the biggest factors that I've divvied up to that success. Okay. Products is number one. Having multiple products to solve your avatar's problem or challenge, as I like to use that word better. If I have more products, now my LTV is a lot higher. Your goal as an agency owner is not just to acquire clients, but keep them and increase LTV. The more LTV they have, the more activated the avatar is, which then results in them staying longer. Okay, so I want to talk to you about what products and whatnot that we offer, etc. Second is client relations. How to actually manage clients and expectations and actually bring them into an ecosystem that they actually like. Onboarding, etc. Results. Results alone will not drive your clients to stay. We've had clients that have gotten great results in the past wind up leaving. Why? Because you didn't build a good relationship. You didn't have other products to suffice their next challenge that they wanted to overcome, or you didn't give them access to other things. Fourth is Ascension. You have clients right now that are on a $2,000 a month package. They're starting to grow, or they see some type of light at the end of the tunnel. How are we taking those clients from a 2K, 3K, 4K month package and taking it to a 5, 6, 7K month package? And what does that look like sales process wise? Then we have ecosystem and acquiring new clients. I spend $14,000 a day on Facebook and Google and YouTube. How do I do that to acquire new clients and stay profitable? I'm going to talk about that. Hiring, why that's important, attracting and acquiring A+ talent, and your employee maturity models. If you don't know what that means, then you better stay tuned for the end of this video. And affiliates and partnerships and tracking your KPIs. Also, I'm going to add one, which is obviously sales and systems. Okay, what should your sales team structure look like, etc. So let's get right into this. First one is going to be products. Okay, what products do you offer? A lot of you only do this, or you white label, go high level, and do ad management. It's not that enticing. Clients need more services than ever. The marketing landscape is always changing. You need to provide more value. So what do we provide? We have ad management. We have in-person creative packages. We also have SEO. We offer email and SMS. We offer CRM builds. We place salespeople. We even place setters. We also do chat funnels. Sorry for not the best with this. Chat funnels. We also provide funnel builds. We have coaching. We'd have a portfolio side of our company to where I can get equity. There's multiple facets and products that we have. We also have sales training. We have a webinar done for you offer. I'll discuss that stuff later on. There's a lot of products that we have so that when a client comes in, we also have organic social media management. When a client comes in and they ever ask you the question, hey, do you guys also do this? And if you've ever said no, or we're going to release this soon, I'm telling you right now, they're going to wind up leaving you because you weren't able to beat their question right off the rip. I have so many clients that come to us and they're like, hey, you guys do ads. Okay, well, I'm not good on video. Can you have someone come out and shoot me? Now we do. Do you do organic? We have SEO. We have email. We do organic social media management. There's a lot of things that we do that help them. You need help with many chat funnels. Like, we help you in multiple facets of the business that you can't go anywhere else. On top of that is also, we'll add up here like website builds. Okay. We also do Shopify store builds, like literally so many different products to where they can't leave. And then I hope this is one of the biggest lessons you take from this section is that if you're sitting there right now and you don't offer at least 5 products right now, you're going to struggle to get to $500,000 a month or more. even 250K a month or more, to be honest. Because if you just try outsourcing, or getting affiliate kickback from other services, your business is now owned by other service providers. You don't own it internally. Now you're probably wondering, well, Wojo, how do you fulfill on all this? That comes down to hiring, comes down to systems and SOPs and processes, things that people need to follow. But hey, Wojo, I already have SOPs, but no one follows them. There's a reason why. I'm going to get that in the hiring section. Okay. So we have touched up on products and increasing lifetime value. What's the next part? Client relations. So we have client relations. What does this really come down to? First thing is expectations. Second is onboarding. There's a third one that I call double confirmation. I'll get into that in a second. Expectations starts from the sales call. It always will. We don't just sell people to sell them. You have to sell them with the intention that they can actually get results. Okay, so we have to qualify them. Yes, that means less people in the door, but better quality clients. You're setting expectations. Second is your onboarding call, where you double confirm expectations. And what I mean by double confirmation is going to come down to strategy, approval. Okay. In the agency world, there are times where you will get clients who have shiny object syndrome. And if you don't double confirm what their strategy is, they're going to wind up changing shit up. Oh, no, I want this instead. Oh, no, I actually want to change that, which causes delays, which causes billing issues to be moved because clients start blaming you for the delay when it was their fault. There's a big quote in the agency world that the customer is always right. I'll tell you this right now, 80% of customers are wrong. They are wrong, regardless of what. Maybe you're a client right now who's a prospect who's sitting there going, wow, I'm not going to work with him now because he just said 80% of customers are wrong. Oh, no, trust me, they're wrong because they get emotional. Okay, very, very emotional, which helps nobody. So what else? We double confirm, we onboard, we set expectations. What else do we do? Well, we establish relationships. I want to give you an example of a client. Okay, we're going to call this guy Tyler, and this happens every single week. Tyler gets an ad package. Tyler, on his onboarding, is excited. He's excited on his onboarding call, and he tells us why we're already blowing his mind. Through the strategy, through the onboarding, through the systems, through the processes, why this onboarding experience is already great. So what do we do with Tyler? We say, hey, Tyler, we'd love to see you in person. You should come to an event. Tyler comes to an event and gets to experience new products that we offer. New products. What do you think Tyler does? Tyler buys another package because we found out on the onboarding call that Tyler owns another business. From here to the ad package to the onboarding, we are establishing a connection. Then he comes in person to an event, hears me speak, and sees new products on the sheet in front of him, just like my tablet is. He buys another package, and because he's now even more excited, he sends us referrals. And I actually got on that call today with a referral. His name was Daniel, and he spent $4,500 times 4 months on top of Tyler's $4,500 for 4 months. That is an $18K deal. 18K times 2 is 36K in client contracted just from establishing relationships. It's not only about the sale, it's about giving the client options. If we didn't make onboarding exciting, okay, and we didn't have that in-person event, we wouldn't be able to show Tyler new products with a new experience. You could show him new products, But let's be real, the event sold him from authority from having me on stage, which means that Tyler doesn't buy another package, and Tyler now waits longer to give us a referral, which means that we messed up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times during this entire journey, which most of you are doing because you only depend on virtual or you don't have an ecosystem to where you can establish relationships. Okay, and this also comes down to touch points and having calls weekly and setting a cadence, things that actually give the clients more value. Which brings me to the next part, which is results. So results come in multiple forms. They can come through fast wins. They can come through advice. They can come through expected results. And I'll get into what that means in a second. Fourth is practical expectations. Fifth is next steps. And the next is faster or better results. Okay, and what does that mean for you? Which will lead us to the next page here. Results can be, hey, I got 10 calls this week, 2 bought. That's a fast win. That's a 1 week, we'll call it a 1 week FW. Means that the client is now activated. They now believe you. They have now gotten past BR, what I call buyer's remorse. Second is advice, where you get on a call and tell the client something. Hey, you should have your setters call the leads within 5 minutes. Some clients implement it, and all of a sudden, the next hour, they book a call. Gets them massively excited. Like, oh my God, what they said was right. That also eliminates buyer's remorse. What they said just worked very quickly. Next is expected results. That's when you tell a client, hey, I have someone else in the same niche as you who got X result. That gets them excited. That avoids buyer's remorse. Practical expectations. You tell them the expected result, but with an expectation. Hey, it took them X amount of time. So now you can alleviate what we call GRQ, get rich quick accusations. We want to eliminate that. And then there's next steps. A client can get results, but then you always have to establish next steps. Let's say a client is running a lead form campaign. They run it for 2 weeks. They get excited. They get a result. They get a close. What do you think the next step is? It's not, let's just increase your ad spend. Now they believe that they can do it on their own. What's the next step? Landing page build. Let's get higher quality leads. Let's get you an actual branded landing page. Second, new creatives. Third is establish better tracking, moving them to Hyros and other platforms. This will give the client the feel of X. And I'm about to write this word on here, and this might resonate with a lot of you, which is this. If you can't get the client newness, they're going to go somewhere else. And the newness has to produce money. So that means you have to establish connections in your industry that allow you to always be up to date with new strategies, new softwares, etc. We're always giving our clients new value. Okay, so let's backtrack. We went over results. Now, what does the newness allow us to do? Ascend. And I'm going to give you a couple of strategies. So what can we ascend clients into? We can ascend clients into new services. If they have a problem, it equals a solution. Either they go into more MRR, or they buy a one-off, or they give you a referral. Like, all these things can be an Ascension. It just depends on what you want. Okay. Now, if we look back here, the newness equals more money, and you get to ascend them. These ascensions, we now have a problem because we got them a result. Now we need to provide them another solution. So what's a good example of that? If I get someone more leads, which is, we're going to put a P here for problem, and then we're going to have the solution. If I get them more leads, what's the solution? They need an appointment setter. That's money for us. Let's say I get them more leads. Again, what's another solution? Email management or email marketing is what we'll call it. That's more money for me monthly. What's another problem? Okay, more bookings. They need a salesperson. More money for me. They need sales training. More money for me. All of these things that we think are problems are just good problems. More leads, more bookings. Maybe they're getting a high ROAS on Facebook. What do you think we should do? Upgrade your package? Let's start running Google. It's all about providing a solution to their problem. That's a good problem to have. And that's how ascensions will happen, right? So let's say another good example of this is more about self-awareness and you training your team. Okay, let's say webinar is live. Okay, it starts making a lot of money. What do you think a good upsell is going to be? This is the problem. My webinar is making a lot of money. What should I do next? Well, there's a couple of options. 2 come off the bat. We got to find you a booking funnel that will allow people to book throughout the week, not just one day a week. Second is an auto webinar. Third is more traffic sources. So you're going to have to upgrade your package. Another one could be setters for you to call the leads after the webinar. Multiple products that helped me with a good problem. And that's really how Ascension works. And you have to realize that you don't just wait until the next time you talk to a client to ascend them. The client just got a really big win. You got to call them immediately and obviously be able to sell. So that takes care of Ascension. And now we have ecosystem and acquiring new clients. So this is an example of an ecosystem. Okay, this is a person, this is your prospect, and they have money to spend. So an ecosystem has multiple facets. And these are products or whatever you want to call them, services, whatever that looks like. Okay, maybe traffic sources. Okay, here's an example of my ecosystem. We have Facebook ads, which is also IG. We have YouTube ads. Okay, we have organic social. We have a school group. We have an email list, email and SMS. We have setters. We have events. We have webbies. We'll call them webinars. We have low ticket. Okay. And we have affiliates. And we have partnerships. Okay. Here's the biggest premise about ecosystem and acquire new clients. We spend a lot of money on Facebook ads. Spend about $11,000 a day on Facebook ads and IG, about $1,000 here. Okay. And about $1,000 on just school ads too. I try to get as many people in that school group as possible. And then I spend about $1,000 a day on events to our local events in multiple cities across the entire United States. And then low ticket, we spend about another $500 a day on retargeting to low ticket. These ones are spending money. Now, if someone goes to a Facebook ad and maybe doesn't like us, what does this illustration illustrate? If they don't like my Facebook ad, okay, they go there, they opt in, okay, they wind up not booking a call. They don't buy there. Okay, well, I can hit them with YouTube. They can go organic. I can hit them with an email SMS. I can have a setter call them. They might know one of our affiliates. They might get referred by a partnership. I now have multiple other chances to be able to scoop them up and acquire them as a customer. And this is the part about ecosystem. Your ecosystem right now does not allow you to acquire a lot of clients because when they go to your Facebook, they wind up looking at your brand and they're like, you don't know anyone that I know. There's nobody that you know that has a good partner. You're not good. You don't have good affiliates. There's no way that I can sit there and listen to you for an hour live. You don't have any events locally. No one's calling me when I become a lead. Your email list is not that great. Your emails suck. There's no community that you've built. You don't post a lot organically. You don't have a lot of YouTube organic or ads in general. You don't have a way for me to taste your business, get a small taste, small win. You're losing them because you don't have enough products or ecosystem around you to support them coming into your community. And that's where the community piece comes into play. Now we get into hiring and employee maturity. Oh, excuse me. What does that look like? You got to look at your hierarchy. I am the founder. I have a CEO underneath me. That CEO manages a couple of directors. We're just going to put director of client success, director of copy, director of ops, director of copywriting. Well, sorry, we already have that. Director of media buying. And then we also have director of sales. These are different positions. And each of these directors manage a certain amount of people. And what does that mean for you? Well, you might just be the CEO right now. You are the lone wolf up here, and you're trying to do all of these things on your own. It's utterly impossible. And this is the structure that you have to have once you're at around $250K to $500K a month easily. Okay. And each of these directors will manage exactly what their position is. If they're a director of client success, they're managing, they're managing GMMs and other managers. If they're a director of copy, they're managing copywriters. They're a director of ops, they're managing operations and CRM and whatnot. Director of media buyers, they manage media buyers. They're a director of sales, they're managing sales reps and setters. It's pretty self-explanatory. Now comes down to the fulfillment piece. Okay. Fulfillment looks like this. There are what we call pods. Okay. This is pods. We have a GMM. Okay. We have a media buyer. We have a developer. We have copy. We have graphics. This pod will manage 20 to 35 accounts. And that's the same for every single one of these. Each one of these pods is managing 20 to 35 accounts. And that allows us to what in these 20 to 35 accounts? Drive retention, drive results, not feel like they're all spread out. Okay. Now I want to get into another piece here. Okay, we have hiring and employee maturity models, which I'm going to go over in a second. But why do these pods have, high retention? Okay. High referrals. Less churn. What are some other KPIs to keep in mind? Revenue per pod or revenue per hour is high. Why are these things so efficient now? It's because of a couple of things. And this is why I see a lot of agency owners mistake themselves. Okay. We have 0 VAs. All team members, 5K plus, easily a month. If they're managers, they're making 8K plus a month. They're getting paid well. VAs, 0 of them are VAs. 0. VAs are this thing they put in the industry to make you believe that you can get cheap labor. Trust me, I have a lot of friends that are doing $1 million a month like me. They don't have any VAs. The only VAs they got are developers and people that manage their calendar and schedule and do their travel. No one's client-facing being a VA. It's unprofessional. It pisses clients off, and you're not able to charge the prices or have the authority you want to have by doing this structure. The employee maturity model is based off of incentivizing a couple of things: retention, referrals, and Ascension, and reputation, which means getting Google reviews. Their job is to keep clients, to have a certain amount of revenue per month per pod, to get referrals from those happy clients, 2 to 3 a month. Ascension, sending those clients into bigger packages to keep them around longer. And the reputation, to keep those client wins in our ecosystem, to market it and put it online. That is what they're incentivized by. So they will be able to make extra money based on what of these things occur. And that is how you build better team members who don't just get paid one base rate. You got to find a way for them to get incentivized to grow within the company. So maybe they're a marketing manager right now. They want to move up to a director. Show them what that looks like. Show them what that looks like during hiring. And that brings me to the 3-part interview. First is culture. Nothing on this call should be about money or tactical. It's all culture. You see their body behavior, how they speak, their tonality, what their experiences is, like what does their resume look like, discussing those things with them. That is the first call. Second is tactical. What would you do if X client is X? Put them in scenarios. What would you do if a client messaged you at 4:50 in the afternoon and they're mad? What do you do? We want to see what their urgent excellence looks like. Radical transparency, team first. Those are 3 of our core values. Third is where we negotiate and offer them a position. Where do they want to be money-wise? What are their PPF goals? Personal, professional, financial. And that's where we can then decide, is this person a good fit for our culture or organization where we want to, go with the company? Do they align with these core values? And that is how we hire. And then within hiring, we, obviously ramp them up for 10 to 14 days so that they are, obviously trained into KPI. Those are hiring systems. And that's part of the tracking KPIs piece. Okay, we use Google Data Studio to track all of our KPIs in the business. We use Google Data Studio, Monday.com. We also will use, what we call Make.com and Zapier.com to allow us to, shoot that piece of data back and forth. We use Google Sheets as well. But Google Data Studio and Monday.com is where we track most of our KPIs. As far as sales and setters, we use Deal Buzzer and we use Google Sheets that they have to do every single day. Okay, sales and systems. Systems are up to someone with operational experience. So finding that person with operational experience in a very fast-paced environment is going to help you grow very, very fast. Don't find somebody who was in a SaaS background going into an agency. It's not smart. You got to find someone who's in a marketing background who deals with fucking chaos. Okay? Sales, what does our sales look like? Sales team is, we have a director who is EMOD. EMOD manages. Okay, we have sales rep 1. We have sales rep 2, we have sales rep 3, and we have sales rep 4. These 2 get a setter, and these 2 get a setter. This is our organizational chart right now. We're able to push a lot of volume with just 4 setters. Why? Because we keep our clients long, and these are very well-trained sales reps that are taking anywhere from 12 to 15 demos a day. And this is an important part because you don't want to overhire salespeople. That's why a lot of organizations have a lot of problems with sales rep retention. Is you hire 3 sales reps and you can only give them 3 calls at each. And then they're like, I didn't make enough money. I need to quit. Or I need to go find a position where I can make 10K a month fast. All of our sales reps are making 20K a month. All of them. They do very well for themselves. Very good at what they do. They've been around for 2 to 3 years. I swear, I have some of the best sales rep employee retentions out there because we give them enough calls and they have enough opportunities and they have good brand to sell by. These setters got to make 4 to 6K a month. You got to give them a good opportunity. And these setters, as far as the employee maturity model is concerned, they're going to want to move up to sales closers at some point. They see it. They're like, oh, this person's making a lot of money. I'm inspired. I want to go to that position. And this is where this all is going to make sense. Okay. And that's what our sales and systems look like. Now, as far as softwares, I'll get to that real quick. Here are some softwares that we use to run our company. We use Monday.com. Okay, we use Slack. We use Integromat, which is also called Make.com. We use Zapier. We use SendBlue. We use GHL. We use SalesApe. We use RevRing. AI. We use Google Sheets. We use CallRail to track our phone calls. We use Google My Business. Like, there's a lot of softwares that we use to run this company. It's a little robust sometimes. Okay, but it's very, very well worth it. And there's probably some on here. I have so many softwares I can't even freaking keep track anymore because it's honestly so hectic. And that's part of our systems piece. Okay, but those are a majority of the main ones. Now I want to get into 2 other things real quick. Is as you run your business and as you provide people results, you are going to have a good reputation. And if you have a good reputation, you are now going to be able to get reviews, testimonials, and more eyeballs. And all of these three consist of one thing: brand. As you build brand, people in your space who you might be looking up to right now will want to do business with you. And as you build this reputation, you're getting a lot of reviews and people are talking about you and you're getting in cool group chats and whatnot. And people are having eyeballs on you just like we have. You get this high reputation. Now you are a brand or authority. You will start getting affiliate or partnership opportunities. Okay, so for us, we are sponsored by Go High Level. We're one of their top affiliates as well. We're also sponsored by Hyros. We're also sponsored by SendBlue. Like, we have a lot of partnerships to where these three send us leads. Okay, also, we're partnered with Andy Elliott. That's the Elliott Group, sales training. Like, we have a lot of partnerships that send us leads, which is what? It's free money. We gave them value, them value, them value, them value. Now they send us free leads. And that's where you start getting a part of bigger circles. And there's better conversations, better quality people, better quality clients, higher revenue. And that's really how I've been able to grow our business to where it is. And we use a lot of our social channels like this to be able to, to push that authority and whatnot and build this to where it's, went. So I hope this breaks down a ton for you. I really appreciate you watching this video. If you did like this, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.